flew by. And I didn't even notice that my timer stopped. Hi, everybody. Don't worry, you guys can keep doing your thing. I'm just a giant on my screen now. Stopping this music. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's been doing well. I hope everybody's had a good day. I hope everybody's been having a good night. I would have talked to you about it, but I didn't want to. No! Logan, you never bother me. Just, if you need to talk, just let me know, okay? Even when I'm on D&D, if you message me, I'll probably reply. Bananas. Thank you for the hydration, Eagle. And this stretch. So today we have a fun stream. You know, just you guys know what I get into. I've somehow managed to be invited into a podcast about myths, which is amazing and right up my alley, even though probably nobody knows that except the person that asked me about it. Yes, you can DM me. And I'm just my brain. Aha, there it is. I'm just really excited because I love mythology, all mythology, but I particularly love Greek mythology. So this being like probably a first of more podcasts talking about mythology is really exciting for me, and I'm sure very exciting for my co-hosts. Basically, I am a guest, but I'm just calling us all co-hosts because I don't know what else to call us. Orejitas is calling us dweebs. Yes, this is very so I'm really excited. I hope you guys are too. The other two are still setting up. You're ready? Okay. Orejitas is still Minecrafting. Okay. Ah, yes, the PNG. Hold on, sorry. I deviated. I did not mean to deviate, and I deviated. Where's the... Where? No, I've lost... I lost the tab with the reactive one. Yes, I lost it. I've now reopened one, but I lost it for some reason momentarily, which is not great. Got biddies. I got biddies. Thank you, Mitch, for the biddies. I'm curious. I'm sending you the link now. Oh, that's good. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Hi, Dami. How beautiful. How are you? Wait, what? Who? Why am I? Oh, I've been chibified. I've been chibified. Oh no. What do you mean? Yes, it should. It shouldn't be affected at all. I just have to.
Alright. Oh my god.
Am I back? I am back, and I am small.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me.
I am small.
Thank you. Oh my
Thank you,
god.
Team Killer, for the biddy.
Oh my god.
I have
Hello.
no idea if
How are
anybody's
you?
shouting
Thank you
you
everyone
out,
for
Team
stopping
Killer.
by. Oh my god.
But I shall shout you out as soon as
Holy
this
shit.
ends. There we go.
I was just gonna go peek.
Also,
and then bang.
On your right, on the ramp.
Dummy, thank you for the biddies. Oh.
Rude, that's what these
Oh,
people
and
are.
oh no, Curious. I bet you did not miss me
Nelson,
having
you are
to
freaking
all the time.
beast.
You did break me. You totally broke me, Team Killer. Can I call you just Killer instead of Team Killer? What is happening in chat? I'm so behind in chat. Jesus. TK? Okay, I'll just call you TK. And I love you, Nami. Wow, it says I love you, mommy. That's amazing. I said I love you, Dommy, and because, English, now it says dummy. I'm just gonna say the whole thing. I love you, Dominator. There you go. It's fine, Dommy. I got you. Which is worse, mommy or dummy? Honestly, dummy I think is worse. Or I don't know. Actually, no. Because dummy can be like, you're such a dummy, and it can be cute. But it's just, no, I don't call anybody mommy. No one. No one. Thank you for the hydration, Sippy. I forgot that I have a sippy cup. Hold on, where's my sippy cup?
Way too much in people's streams.
No, I don't call her mommy. I call her mommy. Two very different things.
There you go.
Stop at Silas right now, where I will
Two
prove
very
on the
different
ground
things.
who
You need to
WO who's
understand
What?
that.
What?
Because I like calling. I mean, I obviously like calling her by her name, but because it's her name. TK knows where his points are going. Oh no. So how's everybody doing? Because I feel like... Seppi, your stream today was kind of short, wasn't it? It is 4 AM for you, so that makes sense. Oh no. TK's gonna save a bunch of money. Dami, and we miss you too. TK is gonna break double by machine gunning the uwus. I don't know if he's wanting to machine gun the uwus because he likes my uwu or because he wants to bother double. While they struggle with what they're struggling, I'm just gonna take a minute to go and lurk on people's streams as I do. I've been lurking, but I haven't been saying that I've been lurking. A little column of a little column, a little column B. Gotcha. Twisty, mamacita. How you doing? I missed you guys when I'm not streaming. I'm sorry, I haven't streamed in a couple of days. Some of you know what's been happening, some of you don't. But you guys know that I have 3 cats, and I did lose one of my babies, and it's been kind of hard. Kind of just went and slithered into a hole and played Minecraft. Because Minecraft is my comfort game. So, but I'm here today, and I've made, I love you too, beautiful. And I've made a deal that if I sound any kind of off today, I must take tomorrow off. No questions asked. So, just, you know. If I do sound off, if you guys think that I'm still not okay, sound off in chat. It's okay. The culprit smiles in chat. Thank you, and I appreciate you guys so much. Yes, Twisty. I work from home, so I still have to adult. I just can't stream because stream does take a lot out of me because I do work full time and then I, you know, stream later on for hours. I don't. Oh no, Twisty, no. That was not a question. No. They can hear you now.
Oh, they can? Okay. Great question, Twisty. Do it again so I can re-see. Lame.
Welcome one, welcome all.
Thank you.
I think everything's working now.
I can't give my Prime subscription out. I was gonna gift a sub to you using my Prime subscription, but I can't.
What? Wait, when did I pull my angry mom voice? Ah! Ah!
Yeah,
Ah!
if I can't give it to you for free, I can't give it to you at all. Sorry. Also, you didn't say nearly that many what's as your subtitle said you did. I'm gonna start my stream now.
Wow.
Hi, dweebs. We're doing this.
Oh, yo. Yo.
The logic. What's happening?
I'm gonna message you something in DMs. And you're gonna not be okay.
Uh-oh.
Am I lighting someone on fire?
You might want to, but I suggest you don't.
Only
I
crime
shouldn't say this on stream.
I'm not gonna say it on stream.
I shouldn't talk about lighting people on fire on stream. Because that's how I get an investigation started on me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Thank you for the lurk.
Yeah.
Go, have good
Logan,
sleepies, TK.
first of all, you're right, but also no. Bad.
This is the last time I'm gonna like stop. I need to go and grab my laptop. I'll be right back.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go get a wobber. A wobber bobble.
I don't even think that's gonna work.
You got debated. You got debated. You got debated. 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 Debated.
Ow. Howdy, Lone Dovahkiin. So what'd I miss?
Thank you for the posture check, the hydration, and the stretch. Are we good?
I'm good.
Hi, Twisty. Twisty, I'm not liking your questions.
So I feel like I should ask because I did invite Yins. Which one of the stories do you want to start with?
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? No sé.
You got debated. You got debated. You got debated.
We are learning about Greek history. Yes, yes, we are.
I mean, that's the hope at least.
That is definitely the hope. I thought I had yours up, and apparently I did not. How did I not have yours up, Orejitas? I'm so sorry.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you for the froggies, D. Thank you for the lurk.
Of course.
All right. So, question. Because I invited Yins, I feel like it's only fair that I ask what story do Yins want to start with?
Let's see. I think we should start with whatever you want to start with, because, or do you want to start with the The big daddy, the big K.
Hmm?
The OG Kratos.
Yeah.
All right. So, who here knows anything about Kratos that doesn't come from the God of War series?
Hmm.
The silence is deafening. All right.
I know nothing about Kratos.
Yeah, I don't
Fair.
even know stuff from God of War.
I've
Alright.
honestly never even finished the last game because I shared it with someone, and I started it first, and then midway they were like, I'm gonna start it, and then they never let me finish it. So Twisty says she knows a bit.
Dami says probably Sai, but he's not around.
Where the heck is Sai?
Where's
Alright.
Sai when you need him?
I have no clue.
So, just the in general, who is Kratos? So, lesser known deity. He's generally the personification of strength and power. And in most of the stories he shows up in, he's basically just Zeus's enforcer. Perfect example of this is, let me find the actual name of the book. So in The Binding of Prometheus, which is the really famous one he's in, he's the guy that when Prometheus is bound to the rock, Zeus sends him to tie him down to the rock. I don't know if should we go over the story of Prometheus or
It's up to you.
I know it's
You're
one of the
in
more common
charge.
ones. All right. So cliff notes for that one for anyone who's unfamiliar. The story of Prometheus is he brings fire to humanity against Zeus's best wishes. And as a punishment for that, he's bound to a rock where every day a bird of prey comes down, eats out his liver, and then leaves.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
And
that's
his
Kratos?
no,
that's
no.
Prometheus.
That's Prometheus.
That's Prometheus.
Kratos
I
is
was
the
like,
one
what?
who tied him to the rock.
Oh
Okay,
no.
I know who that. Okay, I know who that is. I didn't know his name.
Yeah. But yeah, no, every day his liver would be eaten, and every day or in every night it would regenerate. And that was his punishment for defying Zeus. Trying to see what other notable things do I have in here.
So you're telling me that this poor man's, well, not a man, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
got punished, and the one who basically like dealt out the punishment was Kratos.
Yes.
That it's on brand, and yet I'm so very unhappy about it.
Yeah. Kratos shows up in a couple of other stories, none of which I know well enough that I would sit here and tell them to you because that's not my I would hate to give you the wrong information. But I know that's the like really important one he shows up in.
Wait, but where, where in the Greek god tree does Kratos fall?
Funny you mentioned that. He is the son of, pardon my pronunciation to anyone who speaks Hellenistic Greek, I'm sorry. Paulus and Styx. So Paulus is the Titan that was mostly associated with war, and Styx was a nymph who was the personification of the river Styx.
Okay, so Paulus is war. He's associated with war. He's not the
He is
god of war. He's
he is
just
not the god.
he's just associated with war.
Yeah, he was one of the Titans.
Ah, a titan associated with war.
Oh,
I know this
So
sends to
a
trip
titan
people.
had a baby, or whether a river nymph had a baby with a titan.
Yep.
That
Multiple.
seems that seems
The math ain't mathin' for you
the,
either.
yeah, the math ain't mathin'. The math ain't mathin'.
4, sometimes 6 children together,
Night night, Seppi. Have good sleepies.
apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, and more.
I know something that tends to trip people up. A lot of times you'll see Kratos and he is referred to as a god. And then a lot of times he is just the personification of strength. So like how I think Nike technically isn't a goddess, they're the personification of victory, so they are celestial in a way. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Which Nike is also is the sibling to Kratos, along with Bai and Zeus. Or
Zealous.
Thank you. I looked at my notes. I saw Zeus. I'm like,
Then-
yeah, Zeus. And I looked back at it. And I'm like, oh, that's wrong.
Also, Fontus and Lacus, apparently, as well.
Yeah.
Fountains
Not
and lakes.
so familiar with those ones.
There's a family tree.
Night night, Eagle.
But yeah, no. You got the family tree.
There's a family tree.
There's a family tree.
The family stick, but
The family sticks tree.
so
Well, it goes all the way
because
back to
family tree
Gaia.
doesn't branch out very much. It's a stick.
No, it
Oh.
doesn't.
Oh my
It
god.
kind of just ends.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find the family tree here.
Hold on, I can send a picture to you guys. I don't know how we're gonna
Alright.
get this on the stream. Do you have a
Yeah.
chat I can pop this in?
But yeah, no, Kratos is one I like to talk about because a lot of people don't realize he was actually a thing in Greek mythology.
I mean, I kind of assumed because I think they've been. It's just. There had to be a reason, right? There had to be a reason for why he was chosen. It would be really random for game developers to be like, ah, yes, just choose this random guy, just give him a random name and put him in going through a bunch of pantheons and just destroying them. Like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. There had to be some kind of basis for it. I just never bothered to look.
Yeah, no. Legitimately, I just assumed that, like, okay, they looked at a bunch of Greek names, picked one that sounded cool, and made that a character. And then I was reading something for one of my classes, and they're like, Kratos. And I'm like, oh.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
To make it even more confusing, there's also the Pallas, the Pallas, the giant. And his birth is wild.
So,
I don't know what we're doing.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
Yeah,
lost in the sauce.
look at the family tree. I don't know about his birth, so would you like to enlighten us on it?
This isn't. This is for the giant, not the Titan.
Mhm.
So nothing to do with Kratos or anything. So he's the son of Gaia. Born from the blood of the castrated Uranus.
Excuse me?
Born from the blood of the castrated Uranus. Uranus was the personification of the sky.
Huh.
So yeah, his birth is wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I hate
Wait a
that
minute.
most of the information that's out there is just from the games.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So Uranus, the personification of the sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Husband of Gaia,
Mm-hmm.
but also apparently the son of Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
Seems about right.
God, I thought.
Greek gods in a nutshell, my friends.
To be fair, these aren't gods; these are personifications. But still.
Well, yeah. Touche, you got me
Yeah,
there.
I thought that started with Zeus.
No. What was it?
Oh,
So
I forgot
speaking of
she
like,
was. Whatever. You go.
I'm sorry, I was speaking of like wild births and like the Greek pantheon. You know how I think it was Athena was born.
The one out of the uh fucking oyster. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, I believe that's Aphrodite, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm pretty sure Athena was born because, in usual fashion, Zeus was messing around with people he shouldn't have been messing around with.
Yeah.
Hera found out, and it ends with Zeus cuts open his calf, puts Athena's fetus in his calf, and then sews it up so she can incubate. And then 9 months, and then 9 months later, she comes out.
I don't think that's right.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys mentioned already this because I was reading and my brain turned off. But do you want to know why Kratos is first, like, honored as a god, and second, why he's always depicted around Zeus?
Shoot.
According to this, after Zeus took care of the Titans, he apparently promised anybody who had not held positions of power under Kronos would get positions of power in his under him, and Styx was the first one to ask for one. So her and her children were given positions as like high members. So that's why they're always depicted with Zeus, but they're specifically Bia and Kratos are always usually like lackeys of Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just do Zeus's bidding. They're just glorified assistants, which is funny and sad.
Yeah, because I wrote that down that Bia also helped with the binding of Prometheus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun time in the world of the gods and not quite gods.
My favorite fact about the gods is how the goddess of beauty got married to uh who's the god that is
Hephaestus.
who is commonly described as ugly.
Hi,
Mhm.
Mad. How you doing?
I love that, but they're divorced apparently, which I didn't
Thanks
know
for
that
stopping
bit.
by.
I didn't know that they were divorced. I know that she has a on again, off again affair with Ares, which
Yeah.
leads to a lot of hijinks. One of which being Hephaestus at one point built a net that the gods couldn't get out of, set up a Home Alone-esque booby trap above their bed, So whenever Ares and Aphrodite went to hit the hay, the net fell on them. They got stuck, and everybody on Mount Olympus just kind of pointed and laughed at them.
Mm.
I'm sorry, I missed that last part. Laughed at who?
Aphrodite and Ares. So Hephaestus put up a trap that whenever they were having the affair behind his back, they got caught in a net, and all the other gods caught them doing it.
Oof.
So everybody just kind of made fun of them.
Yeah, apparently, according to the collector, Hephaestus divorced Aphrodite because of the affair with Ares.
I mean,
Fair.
wouldn't you?
And,
Yeah.
and you blame him?
I mean, Hephaestus deserved better. Like,
Yeah.
Really did.
like, are you
I
kidding
love
me?
Hephaestus.
I also love Hephaestus, which is why I'm like,
Hephaestus is my favorite god. If I had to pick one, I'm gonna get smited for that, but I don't care.
why are you gonna get
Okay.
smited?
Just don't go outside during lightning storms.
What's even better is lightning is my biggest fear.
Oh no.
I mean, that is a pretty. Hi, Lethal.
Kind of understandable fear, though. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to get hit
Was
with
that
lightning.
little birdie Dommy? Is that the birdie that told you, Mad? Is that who told you? Welcome in. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So, Ian's mind if I jump to one of my favorite little stories of Greek mythology?
Go for it.
Oh, go ahead.
Alright. So we all know Midas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Golden touch.
All right. Yeah. So you know Midas's curse, but no, not that curse. The other curse.
What?
I don't think I know the other curse. What's
Other
this?
curse?
So Midas historically had two curses. There was the golden touch, which we all know that story, and he didn't learn any better from that
Yeah.
because
Of
years
course
after
not.
that event, there's a story that so depending on which version of the story you get, it's either the god Pan or a completely unrelated satyr named Myrsias. Myrsias, I think. That's how you say it. In this telling, I'm just going to refer to Pan because it's easier to say. But
Really? Yeah. Okay. Never mind. You got it. D.
sorry, what was that?
What?
D's thing was messed up, so I was gonna tell her, but she fixed it already.
Ah,
Yes, I apologize. I don't know why it was messed up. I think I must have moved it accidentally earlier, but you know. Stupid me.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Continue.
so
Sorry.
Pan challenges Apollo to a musical contest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And King Midas was chosen as one of the judges, along with 1 second, I wrote his name down. I just gotta find it. Tmolus, the mountain god, and Midas were two of the judges. So all of the judges, after like they played their music, agreed that Apollo was the better musician, except Midas, who chose Pan. At which point Apollo says, "Ah, I see what the problem is. Your ears aren't big enough to hear the music properly." Snaps his fingers, and King Midas spent the rest of his life with donkey ears.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, I don't feel like this is really Midas's fault, though. He had a different opinion than everyone else.
I mean, it was a different opinion, but it's kind of funny that this. He was so salty that he's like, I'm gonna give you donkey ears.
Like, what the fuck do you care about what a mortal thinks about your music?
Apparently the gods were like really tight with Midas because they talked to him often.
Yeah, so if he picked Apollo, would fucking Pan have done that instead?
I doubt it. Pan's pretty, from my understanding, Pan's pretty like down to earth, doesn't care. He's the god of shepherds. He does his own thing, really.
But also, sorry, Apollo, Pan, fucking Pan flute, like, I think Pan won this. I don't know if there's any Apollo named instruments out there.
I don't know. I'll be honest. But yeah, no, it's just one of my favorite, like, fairly innocent, like, Greek stories. Just pettiness. But adding to that story, apparently Midas was very distraught about his donkey ears. So
Oh,
he
wait.
started wearing like turbans and really large hats to hide it from people, except his barber, who was sworn to secrecy. Uh, and the barber started losing his mind because he was the only one that knew this secret and he wanted to tell someone. So he went up into the mountains, dug a hole, and started yelling into the hole that King Midas has has ass's ears. Which was all fine and dandy, except he found a fragment of echo, which then proceeded to echo to all the people below the mountain that King Midas has ass's ears. Yeah.
I can't imagine having donkey ears for the rest of my life.
So I found why Paula would have been so upset about someone else being better music than him.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things he's the god of is music.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
computer just froze. What the hell?
Uh-oh.
That's not good.
My AMD software detected that a driver timeout has occurred.
Was it being bad?
I don't know.
Well, I may got put in timeout.
I don't know how this worked, how this happened.
Hmm.
Uh, your stream's going still, so that's good.
Yeah, your model's working on, well, I can still see it doing things on my end.
Everything else kind of died on me, though.
Hmm.
Weird. That was embarrassing. My voice kind of cracked.
Let the demons out. Get them out of my body. I'm sorry. Maybe I should take tomorrow off. That sounds good. I think I'm gonna take tomorrow off. I think I'm gonna take tomorrow off. I'm sorry for interrupting to say that, but
That's all good.
I
We all need a day off occasionally.
Okay. Okay. Twisty wants to give you guys hugs.
I'll go.
Thank you. Everything working on your end?
It seems to be. Maybe. Is this working? It seems to be working. My captions seem to be working. My video seems to be working. I don't know what happened.
No clue.
Peter must have had a brain fart.
I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, there was just fucking. There was a thank you and you're welcome in 2 different languages in chat, and neither of them were English. That's amazing.
It is amazing.
So, since we were talking about Pan and you mentioned the Pan flute being named after him,
I don't know if I don't know if it was named after him, but I know they
no,
share a name.
it is.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, it's
kind
what
of.
makes sense.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
ancient Greeks had a different word for it, but that also ties into the story. You want to hear it?
Oh yeah.
So, Pan, I'm trying to think how to frame this. He fell in love with this nymph named Syrinx. I think it's Syrinx. It's Syrinx, I think. That's probably wrong, but we're gonna go with it.
Who knows?
What was that?
I said, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Anyways, but fell in love with this nymph who had no interest in Pan and was actually kind of terrified by him because Pan was half human, half goat, and kind of scary to look at.
That's
And
fair.
yeah, I'd be scared if the goat man was, chasing after me.
Yeah.
I'll put that out
I'd be
there.
scared if the goat man was lusting after me. Yeah.
Yeah, But one day he went to confess his love to her, and what she sees is the goat man running after her, and she starts booking it, and he starts following her
That's
until
never what you do, buddy.
What was that?
So that's never what you do.
Yeah, it's usually not the right answer.
It's usually how you get. It's usually how you get put on the list.
Yeah. But anyways, he chases her until she hits a river that she can't cross the river, but her sisters are in the river, and she asks her sisters to help her hide from Pan. And what they do is they turn her into a cluster of water reeds, right? So Pan catches up. He's looking for her, can't find her. And he just kind of gets sad, sits down by the river. And the wind starts blowing, and he hears the sound of the air going into the reeds and making this low, melancholy melody. At which point, because he's sad and he hears this, he cuts the some of the reeds and ties them together, and he made the first pan flute. I know in a couple versions of the story, it's that he realizes that the reeds are her, so he takes a few to remember her by, and makes the pan flute. But it's actually the pan flute is the symbol of the god Pan. If you look at like the crest they use for him.
The crest for pan flutes?
No, for Pan himself.
The crest for Pan is a pan flute.
Don't Google crest for pan because you're just gonna get a bunch of pictures of like pans.
Yeah, how did you figure that one out?
One second, because I do know the Greeks had a. So it was the Syrinx panpipes is what the Greeks called it. And because it was so associated with pan, it would become known as the pan flute. So there you go. Some useless knowledge for Jeopardy.
I love useless knowledge.
Yes, useless knowledge is the best.
I am useless knowledge.
that it's all I can remember is useless knowledge.
Hi, Mom.
It's like I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of the crest of Pan. Thank you, Google. You just told me the thing I just said. That was what I was looking for.
Google's so useful, so helpful.
It has its moments, you know. Ba 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 ba. That's
Hi,
Achilles.
Mrs. Turk. How you doing?
Uranus, Eros, Thanatos. Ba ba ba. You know what? That's my fault because I expected this to be in alphabetical order and I should have known better.
When is anything ever in alphabetical order?
Fair point. Here. I'm just gonna put this in the general of the chat. But this is most of, if not all of the crests for the different gods. Or at least a modernized depiction of them.
That checks out, that checks out. That checks out. That checks out.
Good fact checked in
That
real
checks
time.
out. What?
So I'm getting fact checked in real time.
No, I'm just like looking at him like, yeah, that one makes sense for that person.
Yeah, no.
Like, you know, the skull for Thanatos.
Yeah. I like. I'm debating. Fuck it. If you're willing to like track me down this way. So Hephaestus is the mascot for my college.
Nice.
So I like the fact that we don't use the hammer and anvil.
What do you use?
A chibified picture of Hephaestus.
I love that.
I'm okay, Mrs. Turk.
That should be his new symbol.
Just, you know, trying to keep
Festus.
going. Trucking on.
Keep it on, keep it on. I like that Hades is just Cerberus.
Oh my god, wait, is it? Where is he?
Huh.
Trying to find Hades in this mess.
He's under Prometheus and above Artemis.
Like I can find either of those either.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Row 6
I see him.
down.
He's right next to Poseidon. You could have said that.
I could have.
Hera's is kind of freaky.
What was that?
Hera's.
Oh yeah.
What is
So,
that
do you know what
supposed to
that is?
be? No.
It's a peacock feather. Which, hey,
Okay.
that leads into our next story.
That one checks out more. I thought that was like a big bird creature with one giant eye. I was like, that's terrifying.
Do you know how the peacock got its feather?
I feel like I've heard this story before, but I don't remember.
Fair,
I
fair.
don't
So,
know. Please.
1 second. I wrote notes on this one. And that's not the right note, so I'm going to keep going. Do you know who Argus is?
No.
No.
Okay. Argus was a 100-eyed giant who was beloved by Hera and would often work for Hera. And I'm getting ahead of myself in the story because there needs to be a little bit of background for this. So the reoccurring theme of tonight is Zeus was out doing things he shouldn't have been doing one day.
Well, to be fair, that's just the reoccurring theme of all of the mythology.
Yeah. But he started sleeping with one of Hera's priestess. Her name was
Oh
Io.
my god.
Yeah.
That priestess, what are you on?
Fucking ballsy. Now,
Yeah.
there are some, again, there are hundreds of versions of each of these stories. There are versions where it was she volunteered to do it, and there were versions where she didn't, and that's about all I'm gonna say.
And both of those are both very likely.
Yeah. But Zeus and Io are sleeping together. And Hera shows up because of course she finds out, she always does. And Zeus essentially looks at Io and says, "Don't worry, I have a plan." Snaps his fingers and Io turns into a cow.
It doesn't fix anything. Well, I guess it kinda does.
He turns around, he addresses Hera as she like enters the room, and he goes, what's up?" She says, "What you doing?" "Looking at this cow." Hera knows what's going on, but she plays along with Zeus. She goes, "It's a really nice cow, and you know what? You should give me that cow as a gift because I'm your wife and you love me."
Oh my god.
And Zeus really, he's kind of backed into a corner, so he gives her Io, or the cow that is Io. And Hera locks Io away and puts Argus as the guard. Because Argus has his 100 eyes, it's said that he is the best watchman because whenever he sleeps, he can always keep one eye open, which is where the saying comes from.
Question.
Yes.
Where are all these eyes located?
They are all on his head in most depictions.
That is
There are some
terrifying.
depictions where they cover his entire body, but again, it's what artist you're looking at.
Wait a minute. To make room for 100 eyes on your entire head, you either have to have a big head or small eyes.
Why not both?
Fair
Let me see
enough.
if I can find a good picture of Argus real quick.
Now I just need to...
So I think in the oldest depiction, his entire body is covered in eyes, and oh, that one was nightmare fuel.
Hold
I
on,
don't
you're
like that.
not Argus, are you? You got a lot of
Ew.
eyes.
No, he has
Ew.
way more than me.
Nope.
Google, I want to see this terrifyingness.
There are very few pictures of Argus that make him a pleasant to look at fella.
He's a... That one looks cool.
Yeah.
Hold, one of
I'm
these
gonna.
are eyes. This is... What is this, fucking vapes? I don't want... No, the guy! God! The guy! Not the vapes.
I don't know. The picture I put in the general chat, that is the version of Argus that I grew up with in the like little Greek picture book I had.
So yeah, he got big head and
He's got
varying eyes.
big head and a bunch of eyes.
There is no
But-
one in this picture with many eyes. Unless it's the peacock.
Yeah. But anyways.
I
So,
hate
yeah.
that. That makes me itchy.
The more I look at it, the less I like it.
Not the one you sent me. There was one
Well,
where he
yeah.
had like eyes on his legs and stuff, and that just makes me itchy.
Yeah, no, there are some
it's
like
kinda-
actually horrifying depictions of this guy.
Because it's kind of like what's it called? I completely forgot.
You missed. Um, he's a
Like
titan, right? Argus
trypophobia.
is a titan.
He's a
No.
giant. I don't know that he was a
A
titan.
giant with 100 eyes. You mean trypophobia?
Yeah, yeah, it kind of made me trypophobia.
Yeah.
I don't know what that one
Yeah.
is.
Trypophobia is basic
Irrational fear of many holes.
like
Ah,
collections, groups, groupings. What another word?
Yeah, he's a giant.
But yeah, trypophobia is basically like groups of holes.
okay.
You. Mm,
It's like porous
I'm not the
things.
yeah, I'm not like super bad with it because like some people like uh beehive will set them off, but I'm not there. Most
I'm
things are fine.
mine is pretty bad.
Uh,
I feel
I'm
nauseous
usually
now.
fine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No,
maybe
you're
don't look.
fine. I
To be fair, when we heard many eyes, it kind of
Okay,
yeah.
fair.
like
Where did I leave my?
lotus flowers.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I know lotuses.
You know when they're like dry, the middle part is just a bunch of holes.
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah,
reminds me of a honeycomb.
that grosses me out to the point where like I can't look at it because it's
Okay.
bad. Like mine is like I'll see a wall with a bunch of holes and it'll be like, nope,
Oh God. Oh no.
stop looking at it.
Oh no, not that. I was messing around with my slinky and I got it all fucked up.
Oh
Uh
no.
oh. Where
I
did I
can
leave
fix
off
it.
with the story?
Argus eyes.
Yeah. So whenever he would sleep, he could always leave one eye open. I think I said that.
Which is where the saying comes from,
Yeah.
and that's where you left off, I think,
Yeah.
because we decided to
So
look at him.
yeah. So Zeus decided he really wants to get Io back. So he goes to Hermes and essentially puts a hit out on Argus.
You go
Because it's
to
Argus's
Hermes,
fault somehow. Huh?
and you went to Hermes.
It- Zeus goes to Hermes and asks him to kill Argus. So Hermes goes down, he straps up his, fancy winged sandals, puts on some hobo clothes, and he goes down to where Argus is. And he starts playing like this low, like lullaby music and telling Argus the like most boring stories he can think of until he slowly lulls each of Argus's eyes to sleep and then promptly stabs him to death.
27 stab wounds.
Yeah. But just immediately just stabs Argus to death and retrieves Io. When Hera shows up, because like I said, Hera was very fond of Argus and saw what had happened, she took his eyes and put them on the feathers of her favorite bird, the peacock, which is why the peacock has eyes on its feathers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Your school is lying to us, saying it's to protect them from predators. Ugh.
Yeah. That's what
You
they want you to
liars.
think.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
The birds work for the bourgeoisie.
Damn it! I haven't thought of that fucking meme in years.
So this is off the Greek topic. I live on a
Yeah, the
chicken farm.
bourgeoisie. You live on
Yeah.
a chicken
No,
farm.
I live on a chicken farm. I raise chickens. I raise pigeons, like homing pigeons. And when I was in high school, there was a girl in one of my classes who actively believed that pigeons were government drones. And one day she was talking about it, and she says, "Yeah, that's why you've never seen a baby pigeon like out in the wild." And my friend Alana, who sat next to me, says, "Oh, that's not true. Cody raises baby pigeons." And she turns to me and just accused me of being a inside agent.
Oh god, that just reminds me of a fucking
Hi, Mitch.
a Simpsons episode where fucking I forgot
I'm
his
not.
name was like put in by the police department because he looked like a third grader or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Just reminds me of that fucking episode.
But yeah,
They
I was
need
accused of
someone
working for the FBI.
inside the school.
Nice. I mean, you could be accused of worse things.
That's two things baby me would have loved. Raising pigeons and working for the FBI.
Yep. So yeah, that's two of the major things that happened to me in high school. Got stabbed, accused of working for the government.
You got stabbed?
I think we already went over this at least once.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think I was here for that.
Do you want me to tell you the story?
Yes.
Yeah, what the fuck
Let me
happened?
rephrase that. Which time do you want me to tell you the story of?
Which time?
I didn't go to a good school. And I was kind of a dickhead growing up, so
I mean, to be fair, what fucking high schooler wasn't a dickhead?
I was a special kind of dickhead.
I think I was pretty tame for high school.
My problem was I liked getting into fights. But
Fair.
from my 8th grade year to my senior year, I had been stabbed 3 times in school. Do what you will with that information.
Bruh.
But the first time, which is kind of the funniest to me, there was this kid in my Spanish class who had wood shop before his I'm not going to say his name because legal things, but he had wood shop before that class. And for whatever fucking reason, he took a pencil and he put it through the belt sander until he made a shiv. And this was around Deos de Mortes because we were making sugar skulls in my Spanish class. And I'm standing at the desk working on my sugar skull with my class. And he just walks up behind me and he shanks me. And then there's a moment of shock when you get stabbed where like your mind starts racing and it's the fight, flight, or freeze, and I froze. So he stabs me, walks over to my one buddy, and he holds this thing up where my buddy can't see it beside his face. And he called my buddy's name, so my buddy turned his head and he stabbed himself. At which point I had gathered enough of my senses.
What the fuck was the teacher doing during this, by the way?
Fuck all in the corner.
Clearly not.
Bro has
present
time to
mentally.
stab 2 people.
It was okay, so for a little more context, it was her last year before she was retiring, so she didn't care about us, but
I mean, she's responsible for your guys' safety.
yeah, you'd think, right?
So she's liable.
Yeah, you'd think, right? But anyways, at which point I get enough of my senses about me that I realized that what had happened, and I got really pissed off about it.
Fair enough.
So I grabbed the kid, and we had concrete walls, right?
Yeah.
And I grabbed this kid, I picked him up, and I slammed him head first against the wall a couple of times, which got the teacher's attention. Believe it or not. Because that was the obvious thing. So security got called. They pried me off of this kid. At which point, the security's looking at me and they're like, "Why is he bleeding?" Because that wasn't a fight. That was an ass beating. Why are you bleeding? And
You
at which
stabbed
point,
me or-
yeah, because I got stabbed. At which point, here's my favorite thing. The school I went to. Let's say hypothetically, you and me went to my school. I walked up one day and I punched you in the face. And
Mhm.
because I hit you, you punched me back. Do you know what guess what the punishment would be?
For me or for you?
For both of us, because we'd get the same punishment.
I have no fucking idea.
3 days of out of school suspension and a $500 fine.
You get charged
Would you like to
money
take a guess
for getting
as
your
to what?
ass beat.
What was that?
I said you can get charged money at your school for getting your ass beat.
Yep. Only if you
Like, even
defend
if-
yourself. If you take the ass beating, you don't get charged.
So if you're a pussy, you don't get charged.
Pretty much, yeah. So, anyways, guess what the fine for stabbing 2 kids with a shiv is?
How much?
$25 per person and 3 days in school suspension.
I'm sorry, and it was 500 for punching someone?
Yeah.
How much were you charged for slamming him into the wall?
It's funny that went away. They kind of look the other way on that one.
I mean, fair enough. If I saw a kid get stabbed and then slam the guy into a wall a few times, I wouldn't fucking go near that kid.
Yeah.
Well, so he just got stabbed. I'd say he's good to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. You get at least 5 minutes of battle royale before they can do anything.
You get 5 minutes before they fucking care.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a fun thing. And as soon as this kid got back, like he was reintroduced into like common society where he was allowed to talk to the other students again. The first thing he does is we're at the breakfast table. This kid walks up to me and he starts bragging about how he kicked my ass.
Your buddy got slammed into a wall and is saying you kicked your ass.
Yeah. So I did it again.
Of course you would.
What'd you get charged that time?
Luckily, the in-school officer at the time was a family friend. So I also didn't get in trouble for that.
Oh my fucking god. That school is so corrupt, but it's amazing because it's in your favor.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So like she was a friend because I played football and for whatever fucking reason her grandson was on the same team as me.
Grandson?
Her grandson. Yeah.
How old was this officer?
She was pretty old. She was in her 60s. But her grandson, who our freshman year when I played football with him, weighed 95 pounds and was like 5 foot flat.
To be fair, in 7th grade I was 60 pounds and like
Yeah.
5'4".
Yeah, but they were putting this kid in pads and putting him across from, at the time, my
Yeah.
5'6", 250-pound ass.
They fucking put a 90-pound kid on the fucking football team.
Needless to say, he got bullied a lot. So
Bro, that's wild. Bro's got balls. I wouldn't bully that kid.
Yeah, no, he got bullied a lot. So what tended to happen was I started standing up for him because I kind of felt bad. Because again, I was beating the shit out of him at practice every day because they kept lining him up against me. So like people would bully him, I'd bully them back, and I guess he
Shoot
told
their head
his
through walls.
yeah.
They'd
I
call
got
him they'd call in names. I'd throw their head through walls. Like it's yeah.
So here's just like another funny story about my past, and then we can get back to Greek mythology.
I completely forgot about the Greek mythology.
Yeah, we're going over Corvus lore now, I guess. But there was
So
this
you do
kid
have
in one of
lore.
my classes named what was that?
I said, so you do have lore.
I do have lore. The person who pilots the Eldritch Horror has lore. But there was this kid. We're gonna call him Jacob for legal reasons.
Jacob.
But Jacob was a loudmouth that I really didn't like. So we had first period together, and I just remember one day he was just constantly like getting up and yelling as we were watching a movie because the teacher didn't want to deal with us. And at one point I told him to just shut the fuck up. Hey, he looks at me, says, "You know what, Cody? Me and my boys are gonna meet you out in the courtyard after school today." All right.
Oh,
I skipped every class I had after that day to go down to the wood shop where the teacher loved me. And I'm like, "Hey, do you mind if I use the lathe to make a club?" "Why are you building a club?" "It's for a presentation about World War One."
for a presentation about clubs.
"And we're having a presentation about trench fighters in World War One." Sounds
Okay,
reasonable
interesting.
enough. All right.
He's not even like, did they use clubs? He's just like, yeah, okay.
Oh, they did use clubs actually.
Oh,
Well, they were called trench maces, but
fucking trench maze. I gotta Google this shit. I want to
World
see
War
what the.
One was
Okay, they
wild.
put spikes on them though, so
Yeah, mine didn't
that's
have that.
yeah. Okay, so I that's why they're calling it. I say spikes. I'm being very generous.
Yeah, that's a railway nail.
That is no, not this one I'm looking at, not the Wikipedia picture. That is at best some fucking they like cut the tip off of a nail or the end off of a nail
They just slapped it on
like
there.
flat. Yeah, they like put a nail in it, cut the tip off, left it flat, didn't sharpen it or anything.
Yep,
Is that a fucking grenade?
probably.
Oh my god. They fucking slapped the end of a grenade onto one.
If it works. If it's stupid and it works, it ain't stupid. You know what? Are you looking at a potato masher grenade, maybe?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay, so you said it has the top of a grenade.
It has
It
a grenade.
has a grenade.
It looks like what it looks like a grenade. It's
Interesting.
probably not a grenade,
I don't know. Interesting,
but
though.
it's green.
But anyways, so I just spent the rest of the day making a club.
Thank you for the hydration, Rose.
And I'm gonna be honest. I had every intention of getting my ass kicked because I knew it was gonna be at least 3 guys jumping me. My entire plan was to put Jacob in the hospital. That didn't happen. I would have, for all of the lawyers and cops and so on in the chat. What did happen is his boys didn't show up. He was waiting for me in the courtyard that he said he was going to meet me at. I walked up, dropped my backpack, and pulled out a club, and he left.
Pussy. Yeah. So this is that's like what I saw. It's just a closer picture than what I had, pretty much.
Yeah. The Austrian trench mace of World War
What the
One.
fuck? They have like a cutlass handle, all connected to like um a screw metal bar, like one of the metal bars that's like oscillated for screws. I don't know if that's the right word for that. And then it's just got like a lump of metal on the top.
Yeah. All right.
That's just a fucking piece of concrete and rebar.
Anyways, shying away from my criminal past.
And the World War One French maces.
Blah, 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 blah. You guys got a Greek story you want to talk about?
I don't know specific ones. I just know like general things that happen.
All right. Let's see, how many do I have left on this list? I have Psyche, and I have
Oh, really quickly,
Echo.
Lethal said, "What school did you go to? Prison?"
It was
I
only a
remember my
20-minute
dad
drive.
telling me that at his school, on literally the first day, a kid got a huge metal javelin stuck in his eye. Holy
Amazing.
shit!
The school
Yeah,
I went
Medusa's
to
Greek,
was not
Lethal.
great. What was that?
I think Lethal wants to hear about Medusa. Is
Medusa.
Medusa Greek? I've always been fascinated by Medusa.
Yes, Medusa is Greek. I don't have anything written down about Medusa, so let's see what I remember off the top of my head. So, the story of Medusa is she was a priestess to one of the goddesses. I can't remember which one.
Google.
Yeah, Google exists. 1 second.
No, I'm doing it already.
You got it? All right. But
She
she
was
was,
a Gorgon, one of the three.
yep, she was one of the 3 Gorgons. But I'm trying to think, what is it? Anyways, she was the priestess to one of the goddesses, and Poseidon forced himself upon her inside the temple, which irritated the goddess who the temple was for. So she cursed Medusa. And that's like the bare bones version of that story.
Minerva.
What was it?
Oh, that's Roman. Hold up.
Ah, yes, the fun thing of differentiating the Roman and the Greek.
Ooh. Owl. So I'm gonna say that's Athena.
That sounds right.
That is Athena. I scrolled far enough. It's Athena.
Yep.
But also, apparently, that is a Roman story, not a Greek one.
Really?
Yeah. The Roman poet Ovid. Medusa was originally a beautiful maiden, but when Neptune, the Roman equivalent of the Greek Poseidon, had sexual intercourse with her in Minerva's temple, Minerva being the Roman equivalent of the Greek Athena, Minerva punished Medusa by transforming her beautiful hair into horrible snakes.
Yeah.
I much prefer how people have been telling the story as of late. How instead of a punishment, Athena uh turned Medusa's hair into snakes and gave her the power so she could defend herself. Because she essentially got raped.
Yeah. That is definitely the better version of that story. However,
Women
it wasn't a
all over the world literally get tattoos of Medusa as like a sign of being a survival of sexual assault. Sorry, I was sitting a little further away from my mic. Is this better?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're asking them. Yeah, Medusa just gets fucked, apparently, because Medusa is the only one of her sisters who's mortal.
yes. I'm gonna be back in 1 second. I gotta grab something for my mom. Just give me like
Oh, okay, so
5-ish
apparently,
minutes.
in the original version, Medusa apparently Well, not apparently, but Medusa was pregnant by Poseidon.
What about Poseidon?
In the when Perseus kills Medusa, she was pregnant by Poseidon.
Yeah. But she did it. I mean, wasn't the whole. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. My brain. Okay, so as far as I know, the story was that Medusa was one of the caretakers of Athena's temple, and Poseidon assaulted her at the temple.
That is for sure in Roman. I'm not sure if that is in Greek because I'm not finding anything about that with Greek. So I have no idea.
I have not. There's a new Ghostbusters trailer. No, I don't watch trailers. I will refrain.
Seems like what most of what we have for Medusa is from Roman. Ovid did the most writing about Medusa. Mm. So in classical Greek art, Medusa shifted from the depiction of Medusa shifted from being a hideous beast to an attractive young woman.
I'm confused.
About
Why is it that I'm looking for Medusa Greek story and it starts talking to me about like with the Roman names?
Ovid, yeah.
All right, sorry about that. What'd I miss?
We're
There's
still
not a whole lot on Medusa in Greek mythology. Most of it comes in Roman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but in Greek,
she had two
when
sisters,
Perseus,
Yeah, the Gorgons.
which I didn't know until recently.
Yeah, they had heads of snake-like hair and bronze claws, I believe.
No idea.
You can fact check me on that one. I'm a little shaky on that.
when Perseus killed Medusa, she was pregnant with Poseidon's kids.
Oh yeah, because that's where Pegasus and
Chrysaor.
No, apparently they came from the beheading of Medusa.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, don't
Because
really
that's
know
how
how.
giving birth works.
Yeah, don't know really know how that works, but
Birth in ancient Greece was weird, I guess. Because like we got one that was born for like one god was born from
Out of the
being
calf.
out of Zeus's calf. One guy was born from the blood of his recently neutered father.
These two were born from their mom getting her head chopped off.
Yeah. Yeah, we give the Greeks a lot of credit for like their scientific and mathematical advances, but I don't know. I don't think they knew how this stuff worked.
Yeah.
one did literally jump out of Zeus's head. Wasn't that Athena? Wasn't Athena the one that came out of Zeus's head getting
That was
cracked open from a headache?
I thought that was the one that came out of the calf was Athena.
No, I thought Athena came from his head.
Google
Yeah,
Athena
Google, I'm probably wrong.
birth. Well, I guess Athena. Yeah, Athena's forehead,
Okay.
which makes sense because Athena's brains.
Yeah.
Oh, because he swallowed her mother.
Sure, that makes sense. I like how we'll say some of this stuff and then there's just like 10 seconds of dead silence.
Listen,
I'm
we
trying to
have
find
to
the
do
part. Yeah.
research.
Yeah, yeah, it's just
Okay,
like we all just
so
have to stop and think about it.
there's two versions of her birth. One where wait, yeah, Athena has no mother at all, and then one where Zeus swallows Metis, who is pregnant with Athena. Athena is first born within Zeus and then escapes from his body through his forehead.
Yep. Dionysus was the one I was thinking of.
Hmm.
Okay, so apparently Steno and Uranus
Oh yeah, wait.
were
No, that's open.
immortal while Medusa was not.
Yes.
Yep.
Why? Was
Exactly. Medusa just got the short end of the stick constantly.
Yeah.
Athena's just a bitch because Arachne and her were in a weaving competition, and then Medusa turned Arachne into a spider afterwards. The
So
first spider, to be exact. That
you know
is that is Ovid.
the part of that story that like annoys me?
Hmm.
It's just how comically evil the Greek gods are. Because in one of
Yeah.
the older versions of that story, Arachne and Athena are weaving. Arachne looks at what Athena is doing, and Athena is weaving a tapestry of all the humans who have met horrible, horrible fates because they were messing with the gods. So Arachne turns around, switches what her tapestry was about, and she does one of every mortal that the gods fucked over, and that's why Athena got mad.
Aha. Loser. Athena's gonna fucking kill me.
Well, there's that. Oh, what is it? Is it Artemis? I know there's one god, and this is a reoccurring thing that happens in like 4 or 5 different stories, where she will bathe in a random river. Some poor fucker will randomly be walking by, see her bathing, and she just kills him for it.
Who's this?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's Artemis, but I think that's the wrong god.
That would check out. Artemis is the one whose people, or who has no kids because she doesn't do that stuff.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, wasn't Artemis just
Chastity.
like, yeah. So it was literally
Hunting
like a
and chastity.
crime. Wasn't it literally a crime
Yeah.
for a man or
Wait a
anybody
minute.
to see her, like witness her, like not clothed?
Wait, so she's the goddess of wild animals, hunt, vegetation, chastity, and childbirth. How is she the goddess of childbirth and chastity?
Good question.
She's childbirth and not getting it on.
Wasn't Artemis? Okay, so there's Gaia, right? And I think
Yeah.
Demeter, isn't Demeter Gaia's daughter?
Gaia's not a god though. She's a titan.
She's a
My
personification.
question
I'm sorry.
stands. My
Yeah.
question stands. Is wasn't Demeter
Uh,
Gaia's daughter?
I believe so. Yes.
No.
Because I thought
Oh wait, what is
Artemis was also part of like that, where it's all like it has to do with the earth and like you know, like what's the word?
Demeter comes from Cronus.
Cronus, and I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's
Rhea,
R-E. Rhea.
Rhea, one of those two.
Okay. And where does
And then
Artemis come from?
Artemis is Zeus and Leto.
Not keeping anything straight with Greek mythology. Jesus Christ. They were
Her
like,
twin
yes.
is Apollo.
Yep.
And she's got a bunch of half siblings.
So you're telling me that
Zeus's
while
side.
Apollo was literally dragging the sun across the sky and glowing and just being like praised, Artemis was
Taking baths and killing guys
and a hunter.
for seeing her.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I found one of the stories that I was looking for.
Does anybody
Where
else
they-
feel like the females in Greek mythology are getting the short end of the stick on this?
Oh, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, that happens probably quite a bit, as far as I'm aware. If I had to guess.
Let's be fair. Nothing good happens to anyone in Greek mythology, but I do
Except
agree with
the
you.
gods.
Women got even some of the gods get the short end of the stick.
Except let's go with except Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus pretty much gets whatever he wants.
Zeus just
For the
does what he
most
does.
part. Yeah, he does
Yeah.
what he does. The only one he's really got to worry about is Hera.
Even then, Hera really doesn't do much to Zeus. She just fucks over all the people involved with Zeus.
Yeah, she just kind of fucks over all the people he
yeah,
banged.
because Hera is depicted as like the top, like, oh, I'm going to always be on my man's side even if my man's the problem. And
Yeah.
it's just, it's so bad because she's supposed to be, isn't she like the protector of women and children, basically? Like, isn't that her whole shtick? So, like, I don't understand why. I'm getting frustrated.
Sorry.
Why are you sorry?
Why are
Because
you
this was my
sorry?
idea.
No, I'm not frustrated at you. I'm just
Yeah.
frustrated. Like, I think that's why I've been so happy that as of recently, so many like reimaginings of Greek mythology are popping up where it's like
Yeah.
they're making it make sense. They're making it where it's like, okay, so this makes
That's not
sense for
easy.
this reason. And
I doubt that's an easy job.
No.
In no way that's easy.
Also, to answer your question, Hera is the goddess of marriage, women, and family, and is also the protector of women during childbirth.
so I was kind of right. I
Yeah.
was
So
mostly
she does
right.
a kind of a shit job
you
at that
you had it
last bit.
99.999%.
Hera does a bit of a shit job at that last bit.
Yeah, you know.
Too busy getting mad at Zeus.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Lethal said, I guess if Medusa was immortal, everyone would be stone. It would never end. But literally all three of them could do the same thing. All three of them could turn people to stone with their gaze.
Mhm.
And then they started using the images of the Gorgons as objects to, like, for as protection on buildings and stuff.
Yeah, so Perseus lopped off her head, gave it to Athena, and Athena put it on her shield.
Mhm.
I'm so
And
confused.
Perseus used her head as a weapon to turn people to stone.
Yeah, because what was it? He wanted to save, I think it was a princess from a sea monster, so he used Medusa's head against the sea monster.
Yeah.
And then I think he gave it to Athena.
Okay, so listen to this. The large Gorgon eyes, as well as Athena's flashing eyes, are symbols termed the divine eyes. They appear also in Athena's sacred bird, the little owl. They may be represented by spirals, wheels, concentric circles, I'm not gonna say that word, fire wheels, and or other images. They're considered divine and protective, but they're depicted so horribly.
Yeah.
I think maybe this is why people have like reimagined it as something else, because it makes no sense to depict Gorgons as these horrible creatures and then also have them symbolize protection. Like, it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
This to me is like seeming exactly like how it was like, oh, yes, witches are bad. All women are witches. Must burn all the witches. This is like it's starting to feel like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of weird because it's like, yes, this is literally the worst thing ever, but it's also like this, like a living saint. So where in the middle does this fall?
I don't know, because it's saying, I'm also reading that the snake attributes that the Gorgons had were also derived from the guardians associated with early Greek religious concepts such as Delphi and the dragon Delphine. So again, how are you going to tell me that you've made all these creatures, like you've made these creatures that are like so amazing that they're used for protection, or like their symbol is used for protection, but then they're evil and they must die, and only one of them is immortal, the other two aren't, and just like coincidentally immortal enough for her to get her head chopped off? Something smells fishy.
Yeah, something's fucked up here. If I'm trying to play devil's advocate, I can kind of see it in like, so we can all agree a nuclear bomb is like a horrible thing, right?
Yes, also never, Leon. Never.
What did Leon say?
Leon said dragon delphine bathwater when.
God damn you, Leon.
You know, it's been a good
You're
night. I think it's
grounded.
time to.
Leon, you're
Anyways,
grounded.
but like, so like we all agree that a nuclear bomb is like a horrible thing. However, if you have a nuclear bomb, it is a defensive measure where people aren't going to want to attack you. So something can be protective and horrible simultaneously. I don't think that's what they were going for necessarily, though. That's devil's advocate.
That'd make too much sense for them.
Yeah.
I had something I was gonna talk about, but I completely fucking forgot it.
Yeah, Leon said the protective aspect is when Athena took it and put it on her shield. Gorgons are bad, but their gaze can be used as protection. I mean, I understand
That's more of
but...
That's more offense than defense, though.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that, but also, like,
It's the best
the
defense is
eyes
a
are
great
are
offense.
termed as divine eyes. Like, you wouldn't give something a name like divine eyes like that. I don't know. I wouldn't, at least. Like, I feel like it's just a lot. There's just a lot going on that doesn't make any sense. Like, I understand her head being chopped off and put on Athena's shield as being part of, like, the protective thing, but I don't know. Now I feel bad because I put the depiction of Medusa in the circle and it looks like a shield, and now I feel guilty.
I didn't even think about that until you pointed it out.
Now I feel guilty. Lethal, I would suspect that she would turn herself into stone.
Oh my god, wait a minute, hold up.
What's the question?
What would happen if Medusa looked in a mirror?
So there's two ways that a lot of people look at this. There's either she turns herself to stone, which is the one you see most commonly. However, there are some old versions of the story, and these ones are they're really old and outdated, so people don't really look at them all that much, that say that Medusa's gaze would only work on men.
Echidna. Oh, Echidna.
But okay, so you're saying that it only worked on men and what? And children?
Okay, so I don't know about children, but I know that there are some versions of the story that I've read out of different textbooks that say that Medusa's gaze would only turn men into granite and it wouldn't
Okay.
affect women. And then there's the version where she turns to stone.
Yeah, because I've also, so there's the two versions that I've heard, right? I've heard this version where she turns herself into stone, and I've also heard the version where it's like she got her head chopped off, which is the one that most people talk about. But it's also like, it's just, wouldn't them as sisters also turn each other into stone? Or would it just be like, oh, Gorgons don't get turned into stone? Or is it something else besides just looking at them in the eyes that turns them into stone? You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking, now this is off, not really fully off topic, but kind of like referencing, if you guys know One Piece,
Mm-hmm.
I love One Piece.
do you
Never
know what
seen it.
I'm gonna reference?
Yes, I do. I think I do.
Boa Hancock.
Yep.
Boa Hancock and her sisters are basically just inspired by Medusa and her sisters. And
Yep.
Boa Hancock's powers only work on people who are attracted to her. So who people who would lust for her in a sense. But anybody who would like genuinely care about her or something like that wouldn't be affected.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't lust for herself, then maybe it's something like that. Maybe like there's some kind of base to think about that, where like Medusa's powers only worked quote unquote on men because these were men who would be attracted to her in some way.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it wouldn't work on herself and it wouldn't work on her sisters, because they wouldn't be attracted to each other.
I can see that.
No fucking clue.
Where are you? Because your VTuber is just like looking at the sky.
I'll sit up. I'm kind of like curled up on my chair.
I was like, where did he go?
Hold on, let me bring up BC face so I can fix the. I think what happened is it thinks I turned around like a bunch, so it. Okay. There you go.
I definitely think the version you just proposed is probably my favorite, like modern rendition of the story.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I've hydrated too much.
That sounded like the puffer fish. Ugh.
All right. While you're away, I'm gonna scarf down some of this pasta.
God, now I want pasta. Now I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get food.
Also to the chat, I hope y'all find this at least a little bit entertaining and or informative. All right, am I the first one back? All right, I'm gonna take that as a yes. Is there anybody in any of the chats that has a specific story they'd like us to talk about? Let's see. Kronos has you so confused. All right, why are you confused by Kronos? Welcome back. I don't know who's back. Why he's eating babies? I'm gonna Google this, but I'm pretty sure the reason he was eating his children is because it was prophesized that one of them was going to dethrone him.
That is why.
Yeah, he became a self-fulfilling prophecy because in order to try and stop that from happening, he causes that to happen.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not gonna talk about the parallels with a certain story in Catholicism. I'm not. I refuse. I just wanted to say that.
You've piqued my interest. I'm gonna have to look into that later.
I'm just gonna say Moses.
Moses. Eh. Fair, fair.
I think you can kind of catch the drift.
Yeah, you can pick it up from there.
Hola, Sir Hobbit, ¿cómo estás?
I was gonna try to say something, but I'm not gonna butcher a language I only half know. Probably one of my biggest regrets in high school was I did not pay attention in Spanish class, and now I kind of wish I did.
Listen, your avatar is pretty cool, Hobbit, okay?
Mind if I ask what his avatar looks like?
Um, it has like red hair and it just looks very like anime. It looks just really cool. I liked it. I hadn't seen his streams and I saw his stream the other day and I was like, ooh.
Who? Who's who?
Sir Hobbit.
Oh,
And that's a follow.
I turned up my movement smoothing. I don't know what it's automatically set at though.
Yes, Leon is very well versed in Greek mythology.
I heard you talking about eating kids. My first thought was Kronos. Was I right?
Yes.
Yep.
Leon's saying, yeah, prophecy was told he was going to be killed by one of his own children, so he decided to eat his kids, and then he was tricked into eating a stone that was Zeus. Which, by the way, I just want to say this is on his own fault, because Kronos was swallowing them kids. Okay, he was swallowing the kids whole. He was not chewing. He was not doing his due diligence and, like, you know, taking like 30 seconds to chew every bite. No, he swallowed them whole, and literally he was given a baby wrapped in a blanket, a stone wrapped in a blanket, and he was like, "Ah, yeah, yes, this is clearly my son," and just swallowed it. Yes, a very
Hey
normal
kids, this is
sentence.
why you chew your food.
And Zeus grew up,
So it
came
doesn't
back,
come
and
back
got
up and
him
murder
drunk,
you.
so he puked up all his brothers and sisters full grown, and they ended up killing him. Wait,
See, kids, this is why you chew your
was
food.
it
So
that,
it's food,
or
so
wasn't he, didn't he open up Kronos from the inside? I thought Zeus opened up Kronos from the inside.
I might be
Ooh.
misremembering this, but if I remember correctly, Zeus gets him drunk. He pukes up a couple of the siblings. I think Poseidon and Underworld. That's his name. God of the Underworld. Throw me a
God of
line.
Kronos.
Help me.
Wait, who, the god of the underworld?
God of the Underworld.
You mean
Yeah.
Hades?
Thank you, Hades.
My
Pretty sure.
brain just short-circuited when you
Good.
started
I wasn't the only
short-circuiting.
one. It was contagious. But I'm pretty sure, wasn't it that those two came out and then they killed and cut him open and the rest of them spilled out when that happened?
I honestly, all I remember is that somehow Kronos was split in half from the inside, I think it was, to let the siblings out. But again, I don't know where that recollection comes from.
I don't know. Let me check the handy dandy Google.
That's what I'm doing.
Also, it turns out that I've been subscribed to your channel for 2 months.
Once Zeus, once he had grown up, Zeus used an emetic given to him by Gaia to force Kronos to disgorge the contents of his stomach in reverse order. First the stone, then his 2 brothers and 3 sisters.
Let's see. Zeus would chop up Kronos and throw him into Tartarus.
Okay.
The Google literally just gave me 2 sentences, so I gotta dig a little deeper. Also, do you spell Kronos with a C or a K?
I spell Kronos like Kronos, and I'm seeing that it's also
There's
spelled
3
CRONUS.
ways.
Yeah, I've seen it both ways. I didn't know if like we had a
There's
consensus.
the three ways to spell Kronos. CRONUS, CRONOS, and KRONOS.
Neat. We couldn't just pick a
Wikipedia
spelling.
uses Cronus as the main one. So who knows?
So as I'm like looking into this, what you think like swallowing his kids was like the first like execution
great.
method, or do you think there were worse ones that he had to like work through before he settled on that?
So great great news. So you know how Uranus was castrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Kronos.
Hi, King. Welcome in.
He
Yeah.
castrated his father,
Keep trying to spray.
Oh god!
and then after being egged on by his
Jesus, I
mother.
got yeeted, deleted.
His mother told him to castrate his father, and he did.
Speaking of which, you know the painting of
Did you see that, Slayer?
What?
the painting
Sorry,
of Kronos
Robert.
eating
Mars
the
eating his son, or
Huh?
not Mars, but
Kronos
yeah, I
eating.
know the.
Yeah, I've seen that painting in real life, and it is crazy.
That is so
Like
goofy.
IRL in front of me, and that is crazy. How you
Oh,
doing,
the
Kang?
one where he's chomping on the chest?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting that on Wikipedia.
that's probably the most famous piece of artwork about him.
There's one where he's looks like he's flying through the sky holding one of his
Wait,
kids by the
wait,
ankle.
hold up.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I'm holding up. I'm trucking. King, I'm trucking. I'm here.
What's happening?
I've been more of a fan of Greek. But I was just gonna say, hold up, because basically, like, I know you already went over why Cronus ate his children, but reading this, it was a warning from literally, like, his own parents, like Cronus' own parents. So essentially, he got the what we get nowadays, which is your children are gonna do the same thing to you. it's the what you're doing to me, your children are gonna do to you. You'll see.
Your kids are gonna castrate you.
It's the curse. That's basically what they did to him, and that's why he was like, ah, yes, I dethroned my father, so I will be dethroned.
Wait a minute, actually. Because Kronos was egged on by his mom to fuck over his dad. And Zeus was egged on by his mom to fuck over his dad.
Yep.
And his grandma. Like, told by his grandma, too.
Wait. Okay, so I just read the funniest kind of bit. It says, so Cronus was swallowing each child as soon as Rhea gave birth, and she was distraught, and while she was pregnant with Zeus, she went to her parents for help because she didn't want another baby to get swallowed, and Uranus and Gaia advised Rhea to go to Crete, where she gave birth to Zeus, and in Crete, Rhea met a she-goat. A she-goat. Why is the term she-goat so funny to me?
So in one of those, also another funny thing, in one of those stories, the way they hid Zeus from Kronos
Oh, thanks for the
was
follow,
by
Sir Hobbit.
tying him in the air, dangling from a tree.
Thank you
Hope
for
you stick
supporting
around.
Curious.
I'll be back. My food's ready.
Okay.
Maybe.
Also,
Mayhaps.
Lethal brings up a good point. Why didn't Kronos just, like, not have kids? He could have just been like, nah, I'm not having any more kids.
I'm just gonna abstain. No, that makes too much sense, though. Because he was hungry. I don't know. I feel like I can make Hot Pockets a little bit faster than 9 months. I'm just gonna put that out there. Oh, thank you, Mr. Lethal. Hope you stick around.
Kronos might have heard the prophecy after he had kids, or just been like, I like sex too much to not do it. I mean, apparently.
Ye olden Hot Pockets.
So apparently it was the she-goat. And no, it was two she-goats. The she-goat Amalthea and then Melia. And they were nymphs. And they fed Zeus. She-goats fed Zeus. while he grew up. She-goats. 2 she-goats. 2 she-goats in a pear tree.
I'm just gonna add she-goats to the quote book. Also, welcome to the chat, Mr. Lethal. Glad to have you. Oh, I guess people are following. I should probably give the spiel.
Go for it.
I'm Curious Corvus. I am the entity living inside your internet. Yes, your internet, specifically your internet, and yes, that means you should delete your browser history. Welcome, and I hope you stick around. Been here all along in spirit. That's what matters. I just looked over and I just saw something about a gremlin farm in your chat. What's going on over there?
What about my chat?
I just looked over at my laptop where I'm been Googling things. I have your stream pulled up. And I just saw a thing where it said something about a gremlin farm.
Gremlin fam. Like family.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, it's it's one of my timers. It says due to some security concerns, the Discord link is no longer available for free. If you have a little patience and want to become part of the Gremlin fam, you will be able to use points and redeem the Discord link. Thank you so much for your understanding, because a little while back I got hate rated when I still had my Discord link like available for people to just join. And thankfully I already had security in place on my Discord, which you experience, which is like the 3 levels. So bots can't really come in easily, which is what helped, because it was a whole Discord server that got the link and were coming into my server to try to post nasty stuff. And I think only got like 4 people got in because they couldn't use any of their bots. And so I took down that link, and now whenever I invite someone, they have 30 minutes and 1 use to join. And it was bad. That is correct. It was very bad. So I know a lot of people are, you know, risking it and having their Discord link out there like nobody's business, but no. I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Some people don't like it. A lot of people come in here and like immediately expect a Discord link, and I'm like, no, friend, you have to wait a little bit. And they don't have patience, and they just leave, which I understand as well. But you know, it is what it is. I have to protect my community.
Yeah. Because there are some real dickheads out on the internet.
Oh God, what's happening?
What happened?
I'm listening to the psycho. Thank you. Curious.
Oh, no problem. So is that a different Discord than the one I'm in?
No, it's the one you're in.
Okay.
Exactly. If they're not gonna stick around, why would they want the link?
Yeah.
Okay, so it says that the mixture was of copper sulfate, poppy juice, and syrup of mana, which is what they gave to Zeus, so he could give it to Cronus. And that immediately he started drinking it, he threw up. his children one by one. First came the stone, then Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Demeter, and Hestia. Cronus passed out after throwing up his children as Zeus attempted to behead Cronus with his sickle, but did not have the strength to wield it. Zeus's siblings thanked him for freeing them and swore allegiance to him. Together, they would overthrow Cronus and begin a new age, the age of the Olympian gods. Huh. I did not know that the war between the Titans and the Olympian gods was called Titanomachy? Words.
Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce that one. I've heard people speak like proper Hellenistic Greek.
Yeah.
And it is a very wonderful, beautiful language
I'm sure
that
it
I will
is.
not bother butchering.
No, yeah.
Because I will not do it justice. Kind of like Latin.
Oh, okay. So at the end of the war is when Cronus was cursed to travel the world and measure out eternity all alone, and henceforth known as Old Father Time.
Yep.
Oh, Plague went to go get food.
Yeah, I know he said he went to get something. I didn't know if it was like Uber or if he was actually cooking something. Sorry about that. I'm looking over my notes and I just realized that at one point I wrote ancient geese.
Yes. Ancient geese. Yes, yes, yes. I kind of want to talk about the reimagining of the Hades and Persephone story. Just because I feel like, what do you think of the reimagining of it?
Which reimagining? Because there's been a few in history.
The latest
Uh,
one.
is that
Um,
like how
Even
they're
though
a
right
happy
now,
couple?
yeah, but I kind of also just want to know, like, what other reimaginings there has been. Because I don't know of
Basically,
any other ones.
different variations of was it consensual, was it not?
Hi.
Hello. Welcome back. Buen provecho.
Huh?
Like, I know there's one version where Persephone had no idea what was going on when Hades snatched her up. There's one version where they had, I forget how, but they've had contact with each other, and it was a mutual love whenever Hades came and snatched her up.
Yeah.
And then there's like variations between the two.
Then I've heard a version where it was given to him, but mom didn't like that.
Yeah. Um, I
The
really
one I like
like
to
the
go by
newer
is the
version
mutual
where
love.
it's like they both like each other.
Yeah, I like I like that one too.
I like that one too.
That's my favorite one. I
Because
think
I think that, the idea, like, it makes sense that they would work together, because it's kind of like one is life and the other's death, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I know that some people aren't too happy about it, because they're like, this is just like pandering to the masses, basically. But it's like, why wouldn't you want to reimagine old stories as something better, to like actually have some kind of like lesson at the end of it, that isn't just like, oh, if you went to somebody's house who's supposed to like be all and powerful, don't eat there because you might, like, I don't want to tell my kids that. I don't want to tell my kids that, oh hey, if you trust somebody, just don't, like, just
No,
like,
just don't.
what, like the idea that he tricked her into eating and she ate just like one, it was like one little thing of, what was it,
It was 6 pomegranate seeds.
yeah, like 6 pomegranate seeds, and that was it. It makes no sense
You know, like
whatsoever.
that time I forgot what I was gonna say. I remember it now.
Okay, what do you remember?
The ancient Greeks, like, to be good people to like the poor and the homeless, they had to have like the fear of the gods coming and fucking them over to be good people. Because like you were supposed to like be really kind if like a beggar came to your house because it might be a god.
Yeah, because
And if you're mean to them, they'll beat your ass.
I think it was Zeus and Hermes were like really fond of doing that to people, just showing up as beggars. Which, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't want Zeus in my house with, my wife and kids, but
Yeah. Like
Eh.
that's what they like. The threat of the gods fucking them up is what they needed to be good people, the homeless.
Yeah. It, you mentioned the god. Here's a really interesting thing about the Greek pantheon. So, all the mythologies and pantheons that we know of from before the Greeks. One second. I had to cough. Their gods were very monstrous. Like, they were usually like amalgamations of different animals into like these creatures or dragons and stuff. Except for the Egyptians, but even then theirs were people with the heads of animals. The Greeks are, as far as I think we know, they're the first ones to model their gods based off of what humans are instead of the vice versa. Anyways, that was just a weird side tangent.
No, you're fine. I have to find the latest thing that was redeemed. Can I? How do I? There we go.
It would appear that Mr. Lethal timed himself out.
Yes, and I believe I have refunded him his points.
Why did he want timeout? Oh, okay.
It was an accident.
Yeah, I read that immediately after asking.
I've never like refunded points, so that was interesting to go in and have to figure that out.
Yeah. Have you ever used Dixper before?
What is that?
It is a thing that you can add to your stream that people can buy loot boxes of things to jump scare you with or to affect your game.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds kind of wild.
It is, especially when like one of the things that my viewers loved to throw at me when I was using Dixper was invert your controls and turn your screen upside down. I lost a lot of ranked matches of Rainbow Six to that, and I'm still mildly bitter.
Don't play rank. Simple.
You're not wrong. But I know that I was having issues with it, and trying to redeem stuff was very similar to trying to refund stuff on Twitch. Also, I'm sorry if I'm getting a little raspy.
No, you're fine.
That sounds so fun. It had its moments.
Kenny! K.I. Hi, Foxy! How you doing? Leon, that's literally 90% of religions. Yes.
Yeah, and half the people in those religions are still assholes.
Try what for Phasmo? Oh, the thing?
Yeah. Funny you mentioned that. They have a specifically Phasmo box that you can add to your streams.
Oh my god. Fine.
One of
Send me the
those
link for it. Send me the link.
I'll send it after stream. If I remember correctly, one of the things that it does is just start a cursed hunt.
Oh my god.
That is too much power. Also, I'm sorry your body's very dead. You haven't been resting well? I'm just gonna say I'm probably gonna only stream for another half hour because I'm starting to feel really nauseous. But just everybody take a bio break, take a stretch break, take a moment to drink some water, to go to the bathroom,
Just did
to
that last
stretch
one.
out, to have a snack,
I got some
to take a
noodles.
deep breath, a very deep one. And I'm just gonna ask everybody, how's everybody doing right now? How's everybody getting along? Just checking in. How's everybody doing? Leon!
Need to de-stress. What?
Leon says need to de-stress. Yes, all the D puns.
I'm Sir
He said
Hobbit of the
knee,
Knights
so
of
I was very
Eloquence
confused.
here at your service.
Yes,
Well, we're
there's
glad to have you here, Sir Hobbit.
Yes, I also forgot to do that spiel. Guys, as always, I have both Orejita's channel, the Plague Rabbit, and Curious or Curioso, Curious's Curvus X in the dynamic button on my screen. You can go over there, you can follow, and go and support these creators because they're super awesome. Curious does a lot of D&D, which, again, I really wish I could get more into, but, you know, life has other plans. And then Rabbit collabs with me all the time.
Yeah. Now nerds watching my thing. These two, D and Crow, are in my
Lethal, you
stream
probably shouldn't be
title.
taking that many ibuprofens. Isn't ibuprofen like? Isn't there like a limit? 'Cause I
Yeah,
know that like.
yeah, it's you're supposed to take like 2 and 6 max a day. But also, lethal. They take time to activate. You could
This is
also
true.
be allergic to ibuprofen like I am and need to take acetaminophen instead.
I use words.
Wait. Are you only supposed to have 500 milligrams every 6 hours?
It tells you how many you're supposed to take on the bottle.
And
I
that's
did-
what it usually says.
I had a doctor prescribe me 3 800 milligram tablets every 6 hours once.
That's crazy.
I didn't know what the actual
Well,
measurements you're supposed to use was.
So, to be fair, that 500 milligrams is for normal use, like for like a headache or something, not for whatever you had prescribed. Prescribed,
That's also
they
true.
they can raise it. They can give you fucking morphine, which is how many milligrams of normal painkiller?
Let's not, because that's just doctors beat cray cray sometimes with their prescriptions. What's paracetamol? Oh, is paracetamol? I can't speak. No, you cannot mix alcohol with medicine.
No.
Are you cray cray?
Don't do that.
I don't know. Is paracetamol the same as acetaminophen? Acetaminophen. The Spanish comes out because I can't say it in English.
Yeah.
Paracetamol.
Paracetamol is a different brand.
Okay.
It's Panadol brand.
But it is acetaminophen.
Yeah, it's a non-opioid. That word, pain reliever, and fever reducer. Why do you use fancy words? Just say pain reliever and fever reducer. You don't need to say analgesic and antipyretic. Just fucking pain reliever. God.
Leon, I don't know if I'm correct, but I think that what you're saying about Tylenol is also true of just like acetaminophen, like in general.
Acetaminophen.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm used to saying it in Spanish and I can't say it in English. Acetaminophen.
I'm helping you.
I know, but
That you don't have to.
I can't say it, so I'm just gonna go orejitas, and you're gonna say it, okay? Deal?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I thought it was the same with orejitas.
Acetaminophen.
Yes, thank you. That like if you take too many, it can start messing with your liver. Oh, Tylenol and alcohol can destroy the liver very quickly.
Also, acetaminophen is weaker than ibuprofen.
Is it? Well, then I'm
Yeah.
glad I've never really taken ibuprofen then. I think I might have taken it once. And I was just like, this is confusing to me.
At a standard dose, acetaminophen only slightly decreases body temperature. It is inferior to ibuprofen in that respect.
You want to hear a kind of amusing fact about ancient Greece philosophers?
Yep.
You know, supposedly Sisyphus died of a stroke because he laughed too hard at his own joke.
I remember hearing that. That's amazing.
Can't say it's how I'd want to go, but
I don't know if it was Sisyphus. I know someone. I think they no. I remember someone died laughing at a donkey.
yeah.
Acetaminophen is less bad. Hey, did I kind of say it less bad on
Yeah.
the body? If I redeem this when you're talking Spanish, does it reverse back to English? No. No. It's well, maybe.
It's just more Spanish.
I'm unsure because the whole point is that to confuse the people that I'm with that don't know Spanish. No, I can do it. Hey Siri, set a timer for 2 minutes. Hora de
Oh, you're
confundir
thinking
los
of
aspectos.
Chrysippus.
Is that what it was, Christopher?
Yeah, also known as the man who died from laughing at his own joke.
Esto,
Okay, yeah.
estoy confundida. ¿De qué estamos hablando?
He was a Stoic philosopher who died of laughter after he saw a donkey eating his fermented figs.
¿Es en serio?
He told a slave to give the donkey undiluted wine to wash them down, and then, having laughed too much, he died, in quotes.
No, no sabes cómo decir que acetaminofén. Es que después que uno lo dice en español, es tan difícil decirlo en inglés.
You know my favorite Greek philosopher?
Huh.
Diogenes.
¿Quién es ese? ¿Y por qué?
Diogenes?
Yeah, are you familiar with Diogenes the Cynic?
No.
No.
Oh my god, wait, is it this guy?
It might be. Favorite Diogenes story. Supposedly, Diogenes lived a homeless life because he wanted to, not because he needed to. And he was kind of a dickhead.
Yeah.
But one day I guess Alexander the Great was in town and he had heard of Diogenes, who was living in a broken wine casket at the edge of town. And Alexander the Great goes up to like meet Diogenes because he was a fan. And Diogenes, without opening his eyes, tells Alexander the Great, the most powerful man alive at the time, to get out of his way because he's in his sun. At which point Alexander looked to the guy that was with him. He said, "You know, if I could be anyone in the world except Alexander the Great, I would choose to be Diogenes." To which Diogenes said, "And if I could be anyone, and if I was anyone in the world except Diogenes, I would also want to be Diogenes."
Okay, no, he wasn't who I was thinking of. There was, I think it was I think it was another whatever, I forget words, philosopher, or just like I don't know, I don't think it was. It was some guy back in either Greek or Roman, I don't remember which. But like, people would like insult him like by calling him a dog, and to retaliate, he would piss on them.
That might have been Diogenes.
That makes no sense. Why? Why do that? Why do that?
And then he said, "If I am a dog, wouldn't it make sense for me to pee on you?"
Diogenes also dropped the quote of, "When you're in the house of a rich man, there is no proper place to spit except his face." That's just a quote I remember. There's also. Have you ever heard the story about Behold a Man?
No. What do you mean?
No.
I want to say it was Plato, who Diogenes absolutely could not stand. So they had this weird rivalry. And by rivalry, it was a rivalry for Diogenes, and Plato just hated him.
I just
But
want to point out, sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to point out that Leon wrote, "I've always liked Plato," and now I can't stop hearing Plato like Plato. Okay, you may continue. Just had to point that out. Sorry.
Yeah. But one day, I guess Diogenes overheard some of Plato's students talking about how Plato said, "What is a man if not a featherless biped?" And Diogenes took exception to this. And the next day, Plato's giving his, class, and Diogenes walks in and throws a live chicken that he had plucked all the feathers off of and yelled,
Oh,
"Behold, a man."
I have heard this one. I love that. He is amazing.
He got later in his life, he got sold into slavery. And supposedly, whenever they put him up on the stand to be sold, he pointed at a rich-looking guy and he says, "You, sir, look like you need a master." And the guy bought him.
Oh my god.
It worked.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Really quickly, Diogenes' name has been applied to a behavioral disorder.
I can believe that.
Characterized by apparently involuntary self-neglect and hoarding.
Yeah.
This disorder afflicts the elderly and is quite inappropriately named, as Diogenes deliberately rejected common standards of material comfort and was anything but a hoarder.
Yeah. What was it? Because he lived in a wine cask. He owned a bowl and I think a fork. And then one
a
day he
lamp.
gave it away.
He's always depicted with a lamp and a dog.
Yeah.
But not much else than that.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
He's got a stick that he used as a cane.
Yeah. I know there's a story.
Oh, no. He destroyed the single wooden bowl he possessed on seeing a peasant boy drink from the hollow of his hands.
Yep. They also say that not Plato, that Diogenes died when one day he decided he had been on Earth long enough and just held his breath till he died.
Yeah. There's multiple there's multiple ways he's died apparently. So there's holding his breath. He had become ill from eating a raw octopus, suffered an infected dog bite. I think that's it. And then, when asked how he wished to be buried, he left instructions to be thrown outside the city wall so wild animals could feast on his body.
And if I remember correctly, the city denied it.
When asked if he minded this, he said, not at all, as long as you provide me with a stick to chase the creatures away."
Yes, a stick.
And then, when asked how he could use a stick since he would lack awareness, he replied, "If I lack awareness, then why should I care what happens to me when I'm dead?"
I mean, he makes a solid point.
Doesn't say anything about them denying his wish.
Yeah. All right. How much time do we have left?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh.
At least for me. I don't know if you guys want to continue, but I'm feeling pretty sicky.
Yeah, my throat's starting to feel a little bit rough, so I was gonna.
Okay.
I'll
probably end 2 then.
Yeah. Could probably fit one more story in if you guys wanted to.
Yeah, sure.
That's up to you.
Echo or Psyche?
I was gonna say something else, but that would take more than 10 minutes.
What was your suggestion? We could always do it next time.
And then you would get, what was it that the plague doctor said?
Oh, I would get. Oh, the Minotaur.
We'll talk about that next time.
You won't tase me in front of Professor Rubin.
Echo's story is so sad. And it's great.
What was it?
Sorry. Shut up.
Somebody clip that, please.
Oh my god.
HO, that one is great.
Echo?
Yeah,
Alright.
I don't want to say it because mine's gonna pick it up again. Does that whenever I say Neko?
He
Alright.
just stares out into the nothingness to make sure.
Let me find my notes on Echo. We can do that one real quick.
I need to put one just like kind of like clipping in like off the corner of the my background.
Alright. Ready?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so a little bit of background.
Hmm.
What was it? Echo was a nymph, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was a nymph that drew the ire of Hera because she would regularly distract Hera, which kept her from watching Zeus, so Zeus would go off and do things he shouldn't have been doing. So she cursed Echo by taking away her voice and only let her repeat words that were spoken to her. Specifically, the last thing she heard, she would have to repeat. So there's the background.
I thought
Oh my god, like an
got
echo.
punished because I thought Echo got punished because she would just not stop talking. Like she would just
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I
that's
had
how
always
she was
heard.
go
distracting
on and
Hera.
on and on and on and on and like gossip and just on and on and on and just not stop.
Probably.
I mean, that would probably distract Hera.
Probably.
Um,
But also, a gossip would be great for finding out what your cheating husband's doing.
this is also true.
That's true. But also like I feel like the fact that she had to repeat the last thing that was said to her that she heard. First of all, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Not being able to communicate properly. But also, like, if, let's say that the last thing she did was hear Zeus doing something that he shouldn't be doing, she'd be able to go straight to Hera and just...
Yeah, Hera just has her hanging around Zeus the whole like all day.
I could see that happening. But Echo, this is the tragic part of Echo. Well, the other tragic part of Echo's story. She would fall in love with Narcissus, who, if you can guess by the name, might
He's
have
a
been
bit
a
of a
little
narcissist.
might have been a little narcissistic. Just saying.
Yes.
But she felt like deeply in love with him. And between the fact that one, when he was kind of a dick, and two, her curse, she couldn't express her feelings.
Yeah.
And well, she got rejected by Narcissus is kind of the long and short of it. And basically died of a heartbreak. Trying to remember which god took pity on this. I can't remember.
Google.
Yep, Google. Anyways,
I spelled that completely wrong.
you'll have that.
I spelled it ECHKO.
Yeah.
Apparently, it
That's
was
not how you
clipped.
spell that.
Lethal clipped the Echo situation.
God damn you.
But the reason that whenever you yell out into like a mountain or something and you hear the echo, that is because parts of Echo still survive to this day. And when they hear you, they echo back what you said. Which, if you remember in when I was talking about King Midas's other curse, the barber accidentally stumbled into one of the pieces of echo, which is how he ended up telling all the people under Midas's rule that Midas was cursed with a donkey's ears.
What? Can you repeat that?
Sure. So
Oh, wait.
parts of Echo ended up after she
Oh, fucking
died.
COVID.
She was kind of scattered about with pieces of her that still remained that would echo back whatever you would tell them, which is why you hear echoes in like the mountains and such.
That is
And
so
then
sad.
and if you remember when I was talking about King Midas's other curse, the one with the donkey ears,
Yeah.
his barber who was sworn to secrecy went up to the mountains, dug a
Oh, okay.
hole, and like yelled into the hole the king's secret.
Yeah.
And I said about how he had stumbled inadvertently into a fragment of echo, which then echoed down the mountain that the king had a curse, which is how everybody found out the king was cursed again.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
Huh.
That is such bad luck. Oh yeah. Let me just cuz why was he yelling into a hole? Why
Because he
Who was
because
yelling
he
into
was
a
sworn to
hole?
secrecy about the curse and it was driving him crazy that he couldn't like get it off his chest.
So he just had to say it so badly that he yelled it into a hole in the mountain.
Yep, he
And
climbed up the mountains and yelled it into a hole.
that that is
Wouldn't that count as telling Gaia?
Probably, had he not told Echo inadvertently.
But also, apparently, Neko love not Neko. Echo loving uh not her loving fucking Narcissus was uh Roman.
Thank you, Lethal.
Oh, wait, really quickly. So Hera was trying to catch Zeus in the act of cheating, but whenever she was about to catch him, Echo distracted her with lengthy conversations.
Was Echo like doing it on purpose? Or was Echo just looking for someone to talk to?
When at last Juno realized the truth, she cursed Echo. So it's looking like
She was in on it.
Zeus was having her do that. It looks like.
What a coward. Using somebody else to do his dirty work.
That sounds like Zeus.
Yeah, recurring theme.
But also in the Greek one, uh, Echo wasn't technically a nymph. She was half nymph.
For Topeka,
Echo!
Kansas.
Shut up. You guys didn't hear that, right?
Yes, we did.
Fuck! No, she just said my city and state.
I mean,
Oh,
I
no.
started laughing
You
as
guys hear
soon as
her?
I heard her saying something, but I
Okay.
I heard her go
thank
off,
God.
and I started laughing.
Yeah, so did I. So maybe our laughter covered it up.
Hopefully. But also, she was only a half nymph. Her father was a human. Her mother was a nymph.
Mm.
She spent her days dancing with the nymphi and singing with the muses, who taught her all manner of musical instruments. Pan then grew angry with her, envious of her musical virtuosity, and covetous of her virginity, which she would yield to neither men nor gods.
Huh.
Pan drove the men of the fields mad, and like wild animals, they tore Echo apart and scattered the still singing fragments of her body across the earth. Showing favor to the nymphi, Gaia hid the shreds of echo within herself, providing shelter for her music, and at the muse's command, Echo's body will still sing, imitating with perfect likeness the sound of any earthly thing.
No, I feel like crying every single time I hear Echo. That's that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Greek version. The Roman version is that she did the blocking for Zeus, or sorry, Jupiter, and then Juno, which is Hera, cursed her, and then she fell in love with Narcissus a while later. Then she went to hug him because she was in love with him. Because he said, "This way we must come together," and she took that as a reciprocation of her love. Went to hug him, and he said, "Hands off! May I die before you enjoy my body." So she fled, scorned, humiliated, and shamed. And despite the harshness of his rejection, Echo's love for Narcissus only grew. When he died, wasting away before his own reflection, consumed by a love that could not be, Echo mourned over his body. Yellow. Huh. When Narcissus, looking one last time into the pool, uttered, "Oh, marvelous boy, I loved you in vain. Farewell." Echo too chorused, "Farewell." Eventually, she too began to waste away. Her beauty faded, her skin shriveled, and her bones turned to stone.
That's
Today,
so
all that
sad.
remains of her is the sound of her voice. Medieval depiction.
That is so sad. That's a sad note to end on.
Yeah.
But on that note, it's time to end it.
Yeah.
it is time to go.
Guys, I really appreciate everybody coming in today and supporting. You know, things have been tough. Some of you know how tough. And just I really thank all of you for being here. Thank you, Curious, for inviting me to be a guest on this, and I'm really enjoying it. I hope that we can do other ones because it's been really fun and informative, and I always like having like lengthy conversations about stuff like this, and like, you know, looking at all the deep diving and look at all the alternative stories that there are out there. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go
Okay.
before I
Wait.
yes.
So, I found the version that Crow was talking about, where she died from heartbreak.
Yeah.
So yeah, she died from heartbreak because he was in love with himself instead. She called out to Deus, which I can see who that is, of what that is. Fucking just God, like just it's literally just means deity. So some God. She asked that Narcissus might one day be tormented and by unrequited love as she had, and in doing so understand how the spurned suffer. Narcissus comes across a pool following a hunt. Though she prayed to Deus, and the tale notes that he answered her prayer, it is Amor who waits for Narcissus by the water. Amor causes Narcissus to fall for his own reflection, leading quickly to his death. The tale makes clear that this is not merely justice for Echo, but also punishment for Narcissus's slight against love itself.
Damn.
Yeah.
See that? I think that's the one I knew where he like falls in love with his reflection.
I know
in
there's
water.
some version where where him falling in love with himself turns him into a fucking plant.
Yeah, I can't remember what planet it is, but in Dante's Inferno they reference it.
I have no clue.
What? Google. What plant does Narcissus turn into? A daffodil.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the word Narcissus has come to be used for the daffodil. But there is no clarity on whether the flower is named for the myth or the myth for the flower, or if there is any connection at all.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, on that note,
yeah.
Everybody, as always, thank you so much to those of you who stopped by. Thank you to those of you who stuck around. Thank you to those of you that chatted with us.
Oh?
Thank you again, Curious, for inviting me to this. Thank you,
Thanks
Robin,
for coming out.
Yeah. And I'm willing to, do more of these because these are fun. These are very fun for me.
Agreed.
So, yes, I hope everybody has a good night, has good sleep peace, and I hope everybody has a good day tomorrow. Considering how I'm feeling right now, I probably won't be streaming tomorrow, so I hope to see you guys on Thursday. If I do end up streaming tomorrow, I'll let you guys know on my Discord server. Until then, goodbye. Love y'all. Thank you so much, and let's give Sparkles a huge froggy raid, and let's have her have some more good Minecrafting. Bye, everybody.
Guys,
Party
I
too
have
hard, folks.
discovered
Take care.
something.